The Sonic movie? Really? Who would cover that? I think we're about to cover that freaking movie. Let's go and do this right now. This is the latest edition of Cinema Talkery with Robert Walkenbrod. Now, as you just saw from that little opener there, we are going to be covering the Sonic the Hedgehog movie that just came out. It officially released on Thursday, November. It officially released Thursday, February 13th. And obviously today we're posting this on Valentine's Day the 14th. You're potentially going to see this tonight, or you're going to see it sometime over the weekend. Perhaps with your loved one, perhaps by yourself. You want to go take a box of chocolates with you and just eat it all up while you're there. Who knows, whatever you're planning on doing. But this is, the Sonic movie that was once delayed late last year because of fan backlash to the CGI design of Sonic. And this updated CGI design of Sonic made it look very similar to, or almost identical to the version you see in the classic popular video game. So, just a heads up before we go and talk about this movie, there's gonna be some spoilers here. If you have any indication of wanting to see the movie, or if you don't want to hear about what's going to happen or some of it, this is where you can tune out right here. If you want a little bit of a film review of Sonic the Hedgehog, stay around because we're going to get into it right now. So Sonic the Hedgehog comes in at a crisp 1 hour and 48 minutes, about 1 hour, maybe about 1 hour and 50 minutes, give or take with credits and whatnot. It's rated PG, so you got the sense it's gonna be a very family-friendly movie. I mean, based on a CGI character, it just runs fast, and from seeing it, it is indeed a very family-friendly movie. Yes, PG, no cursing. It's very lighthearted with James Marsden and Jim Carrey as the villain. Nothing too crazy. No violence. The closest thing is maybe Sonic hitting Jim Carrey's character's vehicle, since he's the villain here. He's a government villain who wants to take down Sonic and dissect him because he's so unique, obviously, and from a different part of the universe. It's so that's basically the premise. And then James Marsden's character Tom finds Sonic inadvertently along the way, and then it ends up becoming almost like it's like a buddy film, and you get a very basic premise of what they're trying to accomplish here, which is Sonic just wants a friend. Don't we all just want a friend? Sonic just wants a friend. He has this whole bucket list of what he wants to do in this part of the universe on Earth, and the main thing that it comes down to is he just wants a friend, because he's been lonely, he's been isolated in his cave all these years, and he just wants someone who he can confide in and who he can be friends with. Now, in a very brief time, he goes through a bunch of bucket list things that he wants to go through, and he also learns what a bucket list is from Tom, James Marsden's character again. We've all got a bucket list. I'm sure if you don't have an official one, there's things you just want to do in your life. I personally did one of my bucket list items last August when I took a 2.5-week vacation to Australia. You can see right there that there's part of my trip right there. So people like to do things that they know they only might have one chance to do, and Sonic believes here he might only have one chance to do this. Uh, it's and because in his mind he thinks he's going to go to the Mushroom Planet, which even for a PG movie, I'm surprised there was no drug references made here. Uh, but he was told from the beginning when he was little, all he wants that he needs to go to the other side of the universe and eventually make his way to the Mushroom Planet if things go awry for him or when he's ready to go. Something along those lines. It's not really that important overall. It kind of gets lost in the story along the way until the very end. But yes, there is a Mushroom Planet. No drug references. Not a thing. Not even innuendo. Nothing. I was can't say I mean it's a PG movie. I'm not surprised, but I kind of expected just a little nudge, just a little tiny little nudge. So that's basically the premise of the film. It's kind of to the point. I guess it's a PG film. You're not going to get a complicated plot. It's a movie around a CGI character. You're not going to get anything too crazy. I mean, it's not like a CGI character in a Marvel or a DC film, but this is a video game character that's very kid friendly. That I grew up playing. I'm sure a lot of you who went to see the movie grew up playing on a Sega or whatever device you had at the time. So yeah, maybe perhaps this was a nostalgia trip for you too at the same time. But yeah, overall it wasn't a complicated story whatsoever. And it before we get into things I liked about it, let's just get out of the way things that just the aspects that I didn't particularly love. First thing was they established at the very beginning that Sonic was often watching James Marsden's family, I should be saying Tom's family, through their window for years, and through him and his wife, and he was just watching them through their window, and he knew all the stuff about them. He knew quote unquote tight t-shirts that Tom wore, knew everything about the family. A little weird, a little stalkery. I didn't really feel that much for the Sonic character in that instance. Maybe you did in that, but he picked out Tom's family and he just watched them for years and years at a time, knew things about them. I don't know, man. I don't know about that. I kind of was watching him like that's a little creepy. The side character, it's also a little annoying here. I know it's tough to explain because yes, I have to remember too. This is a kid-friendly movie, and it's not gonna be perfect here. The Sonic character just felt very immature the entire time, and this was someone who was around for years, and they kind of acted like a little kid the entire movie, really, until I guess the very, very end, and it seemed like a very abrupt character development along the way, because Sonic was just kind of, you knew what he wanted from the beginning. He wanted a friend, and he just kind of just went on one tone for about 90% of the movie, until all of a sudden he gets, even after the first time he gets injured and taken down. The second time he gets injured and taken down is when he suddenly goes through this metamorphosis, or came to his head, or just popped into his head. Oh, time to change. And he did change in that second, and that's probably the last 15 minutes, maybe 10 minutes in the movie. Otherwise, Sonic was just a very, very one-note character. Again, I know, CGI, PG movie, but you didn't get a lot of character development here. It doesn't mean you can't have character development. It would have been nice for Sonic to kind of progress through the movie, I never got the indication that he did, and I felt that took away from the movie. Yes, the very end, he had realizations of himself, of the family around him that he made, and what he had to do to take out Jim Carrey's character here. And yeah, it took too long to get to the point where Sonic had a realization. If they slowly built that up and made him a little more mature along the way, different story. They didn't do that. They made his maturity click like that. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that a lot. I thought it was too abrupt. Yeah, I guess that was one of my main gripes with it. And the story was also very, very simple. Maybe, I mean, again, I shouldn't be expecting anything complicated, but it was a little too simple. It was just, oh, the government agency wants to dissect Sonic. We never really get a thing about or hear about ever again throughout the film, other than just Jim Carrey's character wanting to catch him. That's about the only thing we get here, aside from the very beginning. It doesn't really get established. It's just a wild goose chase throughout the film. Um, yeah, with Eggman just going after him over and over again until he can't at the very end. So, I don't know. Just wasn't feeling this, how it was too simple and how things were just so abandoned. Uh, Especially how just so it was just kind of weird too how Tom just changed his career plans. Even I mean I guess they were making it more about family over career than anything, which I get. But his change in mindset seemed very abrupt too. Yeah, there's a lot of abrupt, undeveloped plot pieces of this movie, or just things that were just kind of left behind, and they were kind of major things, and I didn't necessarily love that too much. Especially, yeah, going along with why he wants to stay in Green Hills and blah blah blah. Things could have been more developed, more established, and yeah, that's a little bit of a gripe I have with it. Uh, all right, so things I did like. Yes, there were things I did like in it. Comic accurate, game accurate Sonic design, very cool. A lot of his moves in there were placed into fight scenes and how it helped him in the overall story. I thought that was pretty cool too, making it seem just very accurate from the video game. Uh, bring bring people some memories and whatnot. I thought it was cool. I thought that was cool that they did that. Just it's a fun, entertaining film. James Marsden's is good in it. Jim Carrey, you know what you're getting from him at this point. Quirky, weird. I thought he played up to his usual self very, very well. From what you see in a lot of his roles, no issue there. I enjoyed it, and we don't get Jim Carrey performances really too frequently anymore. Of course, he's getting older. It's not the late '90s and early 2000s anymore, but he's still good. He can still do his thing when needed. I saw somewhere too he might even be interested in doing more Sonic movies, which you can get the indication from the post-credit scene. And yes, there's technically two of them. Um, but yeah, Jim Carrey was solid. James Marsden's solid. Uh, Ben Schwartz as the voice of Sonic. He was okay. He was okay. Voice was a little annoying at times. That's just my personal thing. Tika Sumpter, who played Maddie, James Marsden's wife, she was fine. She had a pretty limited role, but she was fine. Uh, we got a very, very brief look at Neil McDonough in here, which is interesting. Kind of towards the beginning, you'll know Neil McDonough. Comic book fans, or from TV shows, you'll know him from the Arrowverse, very frequently in there. Um, he played a role in Captain America: The First Avenger back in 2011. So he's been around these sci-fi movies for almost a decade now. So it was cool to see him, even for a brief moment. Weird little cameo, but that was fine. Um, Again, a little Adam Pally uh, appearance in here. He played a cop in there. The only other cop we really see besides James Marsden's Tom. Um, yes, that was fine too, and yeah, it was just it was entertaining. I can't say I didn't have a bad time. Uh, yeah, it was. Yeah, I should say I can't say I had a bad time. It was a good film, fun. I don't think I'd see it again. uh, would I be in for a second Sonic movie? Yeah, maybe. It all depends on what happens here with it, because I know I didn't really give a lot to like it, because I mean I was kind of balanced with it in a way. Uh, with Because I did like the bucket list aspect with it too. I should throw that in, which we already went over. But I don't know if we'll see if this gets a sequel, because it depends on the. I know the budget was creeping towards 100 million for this, and there was an early projection I saw. I can't quote the source, but that I saw online because I forgot. But it it was supposed to be making or projecting towards a 50 million release for opening weekend, which is not bad. It's pretty good. But we'll see how far it goes past its overall budget to see if it's worth making a second movie. Just because after the budget issue, not the budget issues, the production issues, and how much and the delay behind the release, some things also just don't make the movie that don't make the money that it seems it will. Case in point, Birds of Prey. We'll see how it does in its second weekend. Right now, it's not looking too pretty, but we'll see. So Sonic, I wouldn't think we were gonna find out if we get our Sonic movie for, I guess early indication would be maybe about 6 weeks or so. Once the box office stuff really trickles out, and once the director says things, once the cast starts making comments, once the initial reactions come in. Um, yeah, so it's gonna be a wait and see thing, I guess here, and yeah, it's gonna be a wait and see, especially with the reaction being kind of mixed. Uh, because right now it's at 65% on Rotten Tomatoes as we're filming this, out of 91 reviews. Not bad, not great, but of course with these films it really comes down to how much money it makes. Because if Venom can get uh, a Rotten Tomatoes score that's, what was it, in the 30s or the high 20s? I'm something along those lines, and for that to get a sequel just because it made over $800 million, if that can do it, and if Sonic blows out its its budget by the water through the roof, who knows? I know the movie theater I was at to see it wasn't 100% filled. It was probably about 50% filled. Now I know it's not going to apply for everywhere. Some places could be sold out, other places might not. I also saw a somewhat early showing in the evening. So I'm going to keep track. I guess you can keep track in the AMC apps and whatnot to see if movie theaters are filling up. Just get a general indication of if people are interested in seeing it. Of course, you're going to get the box office results too, and go from there. Uh, but yeah, Sonic's an interesting film. It's a fun time. It's got some fine video game-ish action. The acting's fine. Even get a wonky product placement at the end, which I kind of, it's so overt and purposely overt, but I got a kick out of it. And yeah, Jim Carrey's good. Cons again. It's a lot of the story aspects were underdeveloped or they were kind of abandoned, including some very some very key plot points in there that just kind of got lost. So we'll see. We'll see what the final results will be from the public. For my final rating, I would give it a. I'll give it anywhere from 2.25 to 2.5 stars. It's okay. It's passable. I can't call it a bad movie. It's fine. It's there. It's there. if enough people see it, it'll get a sequel. They set up for a sequel in the end, perhaps a little too much. I don't like when movies do that either. Case in point, Alita Battle Angel, which it's been a year since that movie released, and there's still no idea if that's going to get a sequel, even though they took the entire movie to set up a sequel. I don't like when films do that. I don't like when films get ahead of itself, and they didn't necessarily do it here with Sonic because they played it into the very, very end, but we'll see. So that'll do it for this episode of Cinema Talkery. You can follow me on Twitter at RealRobWolken. You can also subscribe, as I tell you at the end of almost every video here. And you can, keep up with what we're going to be doing next. Right now, I'm admittedly not sure what the next video is going to be, but I will hopefully map that out sometime over the weekend. So thanks for tuning in. Take a look at our other videos in the meantime too, including our Birds of Prey review, our Oscars review and rundown, and many, many more. I even did a little short hit on the French Dispatch trailer from director Wes Anderson. You can check that out. A little bit of early reactions there. So you can see all that in our YouTube channel here, with many more to come throughout the month. Okay, thanks for watching.